What up, what up, what up? Ah, man, I'm so excited. I'm just so pumped. Just got done with the 1%ers conference out here in New Orleans. Yo, man, it was fire. When I tell you, it was bomb. But nah, man, that really brought, like, it really inspired me to share this part of my story that I don't really talk too much about. And it's for 14 years I was a street pharmaceutical representative for 14 years, and transitioning out of that lifestyle is not easy. If anybody has ever been in that lifestyle for long term, I'm not talking about the ones that dabbled a little bit and got out. I'm talking about anybody that did that for real long term. Y'all understand that it's not easy to transition into normal life. I had somebody tell me, yo, what's wrong with you? Why you can't just be a normal person and handle your responsibilities like everybody else? Why you can't just keep a job and go work just like everybody else goes to work? And it's the mentality is so different when you spend that long of your life. Like that's over half of my conscious free will life or conscious. Like I've been making decisions, I'm over the age, of 18 for a minute, and for over half of that life I've been dealing in selling drugs. And when you are a career drug dealer, it's not easy for you to just transition into being, going working for somebody. Having somebody tell you, oh, well, this is what time you go come to work. This is how much I'm gonna pay you. Having somebody put those limits, those constraints on you, it's not easy for a person with the mentality to switch that. And I'm still battling that. Now I will tell you, it does make you one of the best entrepreneurs because you got to go out there and get it. There is no, I'm gonna just wait for tomorrow. Like I will tell you, there are benefits to coming to living that lifestyle long term, right? But when it comes to living that lifestyle and then transitioning out, man, the drawbacks are so misunderstood. People don't get it. It's like, yo, the reason why Trey can't keep a job for more than 2 years is because Trey has never had to worry about somebody telling him what to do. Last time somebody told me what to do, I was in prison, right? Like, come on now, think about that. So if you understand, like you understand, but if you don't, this is why I'm putting this up here, because I want y'all to understand what's going on in the mind of somebody who's got to transition out of living their life on their own terms, but and having an abundance of money, having an abundance of freedom, right? With no regard for any kind of authority at all. Like that's what makes it so difficult. You know what I mean? And people, like, I'm telling you, most people do not understand what it's like to have that kind of lifestyle, to have that kind of responsibility placed upon you, to, and then to have to switch out of that. Now I gotta come to work when you say come to work. I can only get paid this much and I gotta be there all day. What? Come on, man. Like, coming from where I come from, I make $1,000 in a day and I do whatever the hell I want to do. You know what I mean? And that's a slow day. You know what I mean? I wake up at whenever the hell I feel like waking up, and can't nobody tell me, oh, you got to get up earlier. I turn my phone on and start my business whenever I want to. And now I will say that in this day and age, this is not an age of the entrepreneur. This is not an age of when you got to go get it, you go get it, because it's how you've been trained. So I do have an advantage over some people who come from a standard mom and dad lifestyle. I do have an advantage over some people who did grow up knowing that they go to school at a certain time. Like, I never finished school. I don't have a high school education. You know what I mean? So there are some things that I don't qualify for. And coming from where I come from, it's not easy for me to just transition and fit in to where people tell me to fit in. I'm a unicorn. I know that, just me being me. But being a dope dealer for so long has not been, it's not conducive to just, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do what they say to do. I need this money. Like, I don't need that. I know that anytime I want to, and I'm not saying this is something that's good, but I know that anytime I want to, I can go back to the streets and go make easy money whenever I choose to. I know I can go back to the streets and sell whatever I need to sell just so I can make money for myself to eat, for my kids to eat. And so that temptation, that option, is so hard to fight. It's so hard to stave off because of the fact that, it's always gonna be there. Drugs are always going to be on the streets. People are always going to buy drugs. So I don't need to worry about like somebody telling me, okay, well, you'll never be able to deal drugs again. No, the opportunity is always going to be there. And so for you to tell me, oh, well, you just need to handle your responsibilities. You need to be a normal person. It doesn't work like that. It's a whole mental shift that I have to work on changing, so that way I can continue to survive in this, this blue collar or white collar world. I've never had to worry about that before in my life. I've never had to budget. Like, what's a budget? I know that I'm making $1,000 every time I turn my phone on, and what's gonna cost me $1,000? I get a speeding ticket, no big deal. I can throw that money at that and be gone with it. Okay, my dog chewed up my shoes, no big deal. I'm gonna go get some. Okay, whatever the issue is, I know that I have more money coming in as soon as I turn my phone on and I go out there and stand on the block. I got no questions with that, right? So I don't have to worry. I gotta get gas. I don't have to worry about none of that when I'm in the streets. But when I'm working for a job and I'm only making X amount of dollars per hour, and I have to spend X amount of hours at that job just so I can get that paycheck, that's not going to even come. See, this is another thing. It's living that life. Instant gratification is a real thing. Instant gratification. I know that I'm gonna turn my phone on and I'm gonna be able to go and get whatever I want to get as far as food, as far as clothing, any kind of items that I want to purchase, right? But I have to now work at a job where you're gonna dictate what I do for the next, 6 days, 5 days, and then I don't get my money for a whole nother week after that. Like, that's a whole mental shift that most people don't understand is hard for somebody who comes out of that lifestyle that I came out of. And so I just want y'all to understand, man, it's not easy. So if you know somebody, you don't judge them because they have a hard time keeping a job and they're trying to do right. Don't judge them. They working as hard as the fact that they chose to get out of that lifestyle and attempt, like, see, y'all don't get the willpower that it takes to actually get away from that lifestyle and attempt to be a legitimate citizen, to attempt to be a taxpayer, attempt to work at a job. That's so difficult. When I tell you, I mean, so difficult. Like, you got to wrap your mind around it. It's like, for example, y'all write with your right hand or left hand, right? Y'all are right hand or left hand. Some of y'all are ambidextrous, and y'all are the ones that I don't even want to talk to y'all. But some of y'all are right with either right hand or left handed. And if I tell you you can no longer write with your left hand or your right hand, whatever your dominant hand is, you're going to struggle adapting to writing with the opposite hand. That's just a fact of life. And I don't think that many people consider that when they look at somebody who's an ex-drug dealer, or when they look at somebody who's coming out of that lifestyle. Like, that's instant gratification all day, every day. I don't have to wait for my money. You gonna tell me I gotta wait seven more days at the end of the week so I can get paid? Like, that's the number one reason why I cannot stand working at a job. Like, the fact that I gotta wait for my money and my bills are due. Come on now. Come on, my bills are due and I ain't get paid for another 7 days, and they give me 5-day grace period. You see what I'm saying? I got to worry about budgeting. What? I've never had to worry about budgeting a day in my life, and then all of a sudden, just because I decided to live right, now I got to do this budgeting. For y'all, and I say y'all, the people who didn't come from that lifestyle, it's easy for you. It's so easy for you. Okay, I know that I only make this much money a day or this much money a week, and I get paid on this day and that day, and I can only spend this much money from this week because I got to save up the money from that week and that week. And that stuff gets complicated to somebody like myself, because it's like, bro, like, I don't understand the concept of having to have a restriction on funds. I don't understand the concept of not having readily available resources. I don't understand that. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, a lot of it, when you come from the lifestyle that I come from, just to get even more in depth, it's everything that I do falls on me. Everything that I do falls on me. It don't fall on the next person. So I'm not used to working with a team. I ain't got no team when I'm selling dope, because at the end of the day, I know I can't trust none of these people, because these people don't have my interests at heart. They have their own interests at heart. And since they have their own interests at heart, I know I can't trust them when they're placed in a situation that they have to either compromise my lifestyle or my source of income when it comes to that. Like, you just be honest with yourself and just be real and say, oh, you know what? I never really understood until you explained it to me, and that's what I need. That's why I'm here trying to deliver this message. That's why I want y'all to understand. Yo, these guys that are trying, the fact that y'all are criticizing them for the fact that they're not successful at actually converting over into that lifestyle, that hurts, man. That really hurts, because my man's or the lady, whatever, they're trying. They're putting an honest effort forth into getting a legitimate lifestyle to where they can where they can get a legitimate lifestyle to where they can provide for themselves or their family. Like, and I'll put it like this. I didn't turn to that because it was a desire to be cool or I turned to that lifestyle out of necessity. I didn't have money for shoes. I had holes in my shoes, and I had to worry about making the money to get that. I had to worry about making the money to pay my bills, that I need a house to live in. I need a car to drive. And the only way, because at that time, because I was never exposed to a better form of life, I was never exposed to a better lifestyle, what happened? Like just think about it. What happened? Well, I wasn't readily accepted at most places for a job. I turned in a job application. I'm like, yo, I'm looking for a job. I'm trying to work something. You feel me? And an employer's looking at me like, you are not polished at all when it comes to the way that you speak. You don't carry yourself like somebody I want to represent my company. Think about that. Now I'm out here. Now I can't get the same opportunity because the life that I was living, what my exposure to was so limited. And then when I go to actually do something, when I go to actually transition, I'm not welcome because I'm so different. That makes it even harder. So look at how the deck is stacked against us. The deck is stacked against us. Number one, the mentality of actually delayed gratification is not there. Number two, the welcoming, I don't have a welcome reception to be able to go into a community and just be a part of that working environment because of the way that I am. I'm not like everybody else. And number three, I have no regard for authority. So like just think about that. Like, that's where most people who try to transition into a normal lifestyle, that's where they fall short. You know what I mean? Now, I will tell you, man, if you are transitioning, you have a problem transitioning into that life, into a better lifestyle, yo, do yourself a favor, right? Start your own business. Get you an LLC. It only costs like $100 or $200 total or something like that, right? I think I paid like $250 for all the expenses. It was like $75 for the thing and $125 for the application or something like that. Real cheap. It's not expensive. And then plus postage. It's not expensive for you to just be a legitimate business, right? And then now once you started your business, the next thing that you should work on is you should start working on what service or product can you provide. That's where you're going to find your success. That's where you're going to be like, okay, boom, I now have, because you have the skills. You have everything it takes for you to be a real, legitimate business owner. You got the drive to go get it, because you know if you don't get out there, you don't get it, you gonna not eat. You know what I mean? You know that in order for you to survive, right, you have certain rules that you got to stick to. You have a certain code that you got to stick to. So there are certain things when it comes to this lifestyle that do benefit you and do add up for you to be more successful than the average person to be a business owner. Now the rest of it is, now you got to transition your thinking instead of, okay, well, I'ma just do me and only worry about me. Now you got to worry about your customers. That's where you're gonna be able to start to care about people. I will tell you, when it comes down to when you are an employee, becoming a business owner is so difficult. That transition to being a business owner from an employee, because most of the time when you're an employee, what's the mentality? Mentality is something along the lines of, oh, well, it's not my job, not my problem. I don't get paid enough for that. You know what I mean? These are the mentalities that you have as an employee. And so the transition from an employee to a business owner, that's hard. But as a drug dealer, oh man, that's easy, because that's your business. You know what I mean? You got to have a quality product. You got to make sure that your customer service is there and all that. So anyway, listen, I love y'all. I'm glad that y'all tuned in. I appreciate y'all for watching this. I definitely want you to take some lessons. If you know somebody that's transitioning, support them. Help encourage them to continue doing what they're doing, because they're doing something to better their life. They're not just doing something because it's fun. Because trust me when I tell you, it is no fun transitioning from that lifestyle to the lifestyle of a legitimate citizen and a law-abiding citizen. Anyway, till next time, I wish y'all nothing but the best. I'll see you in Oklahoma.